Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 29 of the HooperCast. This will be a short episode because it's just me this time. And I'm going to do a super quick and very insensitive review of The Master. I've just gotten out of The Master. I went and saw it at the Crescent Theater downtown in Mobile, and I was very happy to go to the Crescent because, as Max Maury told me, and I don't know if you guys listened to the last podcast where I posted that they need to raise $75,000 to buy a digital projector. They are about $7,000, $7,000 or $6,000 away from reaching their $75,000 goal, and they have like 50 days left. So that's wonderful news. It looks like the Crescent will be staying open. They'll be able to get their projector, and they can show us movies for years to come in downtown Mobile. So I'm very excited about that. Regardless, Max himself admitted to me that he did not care for this film, and neither did I. I'm not going to go super deep into it. I'm just going to... This is kind of like a stream of consciousness thing. I'm just kind of going to, riff, and I don't have any notes. So I'm sorry if it's incoherent, and I'm sorry if you disagree. But I'm not writing off the film completely. Here's the problem. The Master, there's nothing wrong with the film per se, so why don't I like it? I mean, it seems to be well directed, the performances are very good, the story is interesting, and the cinematography is great, just everything is good, so what's missing? Well, it doesn't appear at least that the film is in wide release. I should probably check that out, because... I don't know. I didn't see it in any films in Alabama, and not that Alabama is a popping burb of film, but we get every major studio release, so the fact that it was only at the Crescent and not at other theaters tells me that it might be a limited release for The Master. Regardless, I don't think Paul Thomas Anderson really cares that he's not making a film that's going to please, the general audience. I don't think that's what the film is for. And so, in that way, the film is kind of giving its middle finger to me anyway, because it's not for me. So me not liking it has no impact. I'm just going to have to say that it's really super slow. It's really... I watched about half an hour of it, and then I had to get up, get a beer, and then stand in the little, the walkway that goes into the theater for the next hour and 40 minutes of the film, because I was genuinely afraid that I would fall asleep. And I even almost did standing up. I had to do like push-ups, I had to do a ton of stuff to stay awake. So if you have, unless your attention span is super awesome, you're going to fall asleep during this film. But what you might be wondering what it's about. I'm gonna at least just say it's really kind of about it really kind of follows Joaquin Phoenix as a guy named Freddie Quell, and he's a World War II veteran who's got PTSD, and he can't really adjust to post-war life, and so he's taken a couple jobs, but he's kind of like an alcoholic, and so he's kind of lost those jobs. So he kind of stumbles upon a yacht of Lancaster Dodd, who is Philip Seymour Hoffman, aka the Master, and he's kind of leading this movement that they call the Cause. And so he lets Freddie stay on the yacht because he likes the drinks that Freddie makes, and Freddie makes this drink out of paint thinner. So he lets him stay on, and he's trying to teach him all these like psychological methods. It kind of it's just this big movement, this big kind of thing in order to free people from their past traumas. This movie has been denied by everyone involved that it has anything to do with Scientology. However, it has been accused by everyone who has seen it that it is about Scientology, because it's about a religion that was invented in the 50s that has everything to do with freeing yourself from your past traumas, supposedly rooted in science, but kind of extraterrestrial in nature. But they don't really come out and say that the movie is about L. Ron Hubbard starting Scientology. But that's basically what I feel like was going on. That's not a bad thing, because they don't, whatever it is about it, whether it's about Scientology or not, it never discounts it. It never really puts it up and says, hey, this is wrong, which is a fine stance to take. But that's not really any better than taking a stance at all, because the movie just kind of ends. And it's like, so I've watched I'm going to go with roughly a couple of months in the life of Freddie Quell. And it's like, I don't really see him experience any change. He literally is in the same place at the beginning of the movie as he is in the last scene of the movie. And he shows no indication of change or improvement. Neither does Dodd or the rest of his followers. It's making almost no statement about anything. And Paul Thomas Anderson is a good director, but damn, if he didn't have good actors, his movies would all suck. I mean, this one, I can't say it sucks because there's nothing wrong with it. It just isn't for me. I can't say it's not for you. All I can say is that it didn't hold my interest. And I can admit I'm a little tired, but the movie, people are talking quietly, the music is overpowering the dialogue, I can't hear anybody, they're all talking about this, that, and nothing, I can't, and there's really an overabundance of people jerking off in this movie. Like Joaquin Phoenix is jerking off, and then Amy Adams is jerking off another guy, and it's just like, it's not explicit, mind you, it's just like, there's a few, like, just out of the blue, it's like all of a sudden there's like a hand on a crotch, and then I'm kind of wondering where that came from. It's like, hey, we're kind of in like a psychological meeting, boom, and then Philip Seymour Hoffman's talking about freeing your mind and like all this Morpheus Matrix stuff, and he's like, you can time travel with your mind, and then this woman's like touching Joaquin Phoenix's crotch, and he's like, awesome, and then he's like, wait, no, stop, we'll do this later. And she's like, yeah, you're right. And it's like, what's happening? What's going on? So I don't really know what to say. It's like I said, it's not bad, but what I can also say is I didn't really enjoy sitting through it. I felt like it was a chore. The only reason I stayed the whole time is because I really didn't want to let the film beat me. I didn't want the film to defeat me. I wanted to sit all the way through it, or stand all the way through it rather, and just kind of, it's just, what can I say? It was boring. It was just boring. And you can say that I'm just a simpleton, I don't understand the story. It doesn't matter. There's nothing wrong with the story, but that's the thing. There's so many good things going for it, and yet he just lets his pacing ruin the story. The story's fine. The writing is not interesting, and it really lost me because I just thought, I don't care about anybody, I don't care about what's going on, there's no sense of stakes ever, like nobody ever seems to have anything to lose, and there's nobody to root for, so what the hell am I watching here? So I don't recommend The Master because it's boring, and it just doesn't seem to have any message whatsoever. Box office wise, I see it's a $35 million film. So far, it looks like it's made almost $2.5 million. It's not doing well at the box office. And this movie is going to get nominated for so many Academy Awards. I'll go ahead and say that now, because the performances are great, and perhaps they earn those nominations. But damn, there's just nothing really to like here. There's just nothing. You can watch this, it's nice, it's sort of like, when you watch There Will Be Blood, and even I own the movie, I like it. The movie is completely dependent upon Daniel Day-Lewis's acting, and because Daniel Day-Lewis is Jesus Christ in the acting world, the movie is interesting to watch him go. But other than that, there's not much going on. You just kind of, without Daniel Day-Lewis, the movie is nothing. And really, without Joaquin Phoenix, this movie is nothing. He's 100% committed to his role. He's believable. I never doubted him for a second. Even that can't ultimately save it from just being super boring. So I'm not going to repeat myself for like a fifth time. I'm just saying I don't recommend it. But don't quite take my word for it because maybe I just didn't get it. I'm open to that possibility because, hey, whatever. But I'm just giving you guys my quick synopsis of it. I didn't really like it. I hated it. I kind of wish I hadn't spent my money on it. And now I'm going to have to work an extra, 2 or 3 hours in the next week to make up the money that I lost on this movie so I don't feel like such a shithead for seeing it. So, anyway, that's my review of The Master. Stay tuned for episode 30, where we're going to talk about something. Anyway, have a good night, and a good day, and a good time doing whatever you are doing with your evening and your lives. Thank you. Goodbye.
This is Optimus Prime, and I am here to tell you, do not see The Master, because it's boring, and nothing happens except Scientology. That's right. Autobots, Thetans, and Xenu.
Thank you guys for listening to that incredibly short review of The Master. I apologize for the Optimus Prime voice, but sometimes I really just can't resist. So, I'm going to leave you here with a recording of Tom Waits talking about cigarettes and pretzels. Have a good night.
Tom Waits. Tom Waits is my name. I like to play music, and I really like pretzels. Sometimes I'll put a pretzel in my cigarettes and smoke the pretzel. Sometimes I'll just eat the cigarette. Eat the cigarette with the pretzels, and I can't even tell the difference. They're both so delicious. And then I smoke the pretzels again.
And then Tom Waits threw up, and this is what it looked like. Goodbye.
Blech.